Yes, people, Ricky here from Behind the Bars TV. Hope you're all fit and well. I'd just like to say a massive thanks to my subscribers. I'm well over 13,000 now. Next mark will be 15,000, so thanks for your continued support. But in this episode, I'm going to talk about a corrupt prison officer who has just been sentenced yesterday. But before we start, just tell you a little bit about myself. At the minute, I'm training flat out. I've knocked the weights on the head. Everything is cardio, so if I'm a little bit out of breath, it's because I've just done 20 minutes on the assault bike. Anyone that's done the assault bike before will know how brutal it is, but I done bursts on it every minute. But if any of you are wanting to see any of my fitness videos, and I'll show you what sort of training I'm doing and what sort of challenges I'm doing in the gym, let us know in the comments, and I will post some videos on, because obviously at the minute I haven't been posting any on because the majority of it is just prison-related content. But if you do want to see it, give us a shout. Getting into the video, the prison officer is where she used to work in HMP Lincoln, Emma Webster. Just been sentenced to 40 months for having an inappropriate relationship with an inmate. But she was only in the job for 7 months. Then she started seeing some lad on the wing who they had friends on the outside. They had mutual friends on the outside. And obviously, when two people are attracted to each other, it doesn't matter whether you're in a prison. I'm talking about females screws with prisoners. It's just like anybody who's in a workplace, really. Although it's inappropriate and she's got a duty of care, and also to her job, she's not supposed to do it. These things do happen. If two people are attracted to each other, obviously they're going to connect and go for each other, aren't they? And this is what happens in the prisons. But this happens in the majority of prisons. It's going on all over the place. This is not something, I mean, I could put stories on about this every single day. It's not something that's random or out of the blue. It happens all the time, every day. But she was just 7 months into the job when she struck up the relationship with a lad called Bradley Bramall. They used to talk on the pay-as-you-go phone, sending messages about sex and masturbation to each other. The 34-year-old prison officer, or ex-screw, gave her number and postal address to Bramall, and he ended up getting a number cleared on the prison phone, because what happens on the prison phone, you've got to give details. Obviously, he's give a different second name, and he's getting a number cleared. So when they're listening on the phone calls, the screws must have thought, hang on a second, I recognise that voice. And it was the voice of one of the colleagues talking to one of the prisoners, talking about all sorts of stuff. And in one phone call, she promised to send Bramall better pictures after he urged her to get it on. The relationship only ended when she got moved to another wing, but just 8 days later, she struck up another communication with another inmate called Jimmy Bennett. This is another person that she obviously knew on the outside, and the court heard she pleasured herself during one phone call with Bennett after he had asked her to take off her panties and rub herself. So they're on the prison phone. The screws have been listening to the phone calls. There are 75 times, it says in here, in just 3 weeks, they spoke to each other, sending letters, and the screws were listening in on this. I wonder if the screws who knew her on the wing were actually getting aroused while they were listening to her, listening to her lewd phone calls. But the judge said when he was sentencing her, "It is clear you craved attention, but after reading your letters and extracts, it is clear that you were chastened rather than manipulated." So obviously, she's trying to get off with it by saying she was manipulated and led into the relationship. But obviously, she's a horny dog, and she's on the wing with a whole load of horny men, and she's just looking for easy pickings. She was rumbled when both prisoners added an Emma Smith to the list of phone contacts on the outside, and suspicious prison bosses began to listen in.